After spending 7 years in the tropics without experiencing any kind of seasons, except for stinking hot with rain and not so stinking hot without rain, Tassie is just what the doctor ordered. Seeing the autumn leaves falling from the trees, feeling a cool breeze on your skin, and inhaling that crisp southern air is exactly what we hope for. It's the most alive I've felt in years, and I hope this feeling never disappears. After arriving in Launceston in April, we took a bit of time to get settled before we started our exploration around town. We were immediately surprised with the amount of little things that there is to do in such close proximity to the city. Things that I'm sure locals would take for granted, but as we're pretty much fresh tourists, we've been out most days making the most of it. Of course, the Cataract Gorge was on the top of the priority list, and rightly so. I honestly don't even know where to start with this place, so I'm going to shut up and roll some footage. Every time I come here, I walk a different track and see something new. This place truly has it all. In a nutshell, the basin holds the world's longest single-span chairlift, a stunning pool right in the middle of the basin. It's got a heritage cable bridge. Actually, make that two. A hydro power plant that first lit Launceston in the 1800s. Playgrounds. Couple of cafes, all sorts of wildlife, and a plethora of walking trails for all kinds of fitness levels. It's the perfect day out for the family, or even better, a stroll by yourself to clear your head. It's seriously an absolute gem of a place, and conveniently, it's just a short walk from the city centre. Move over to the CBD and I'm gobsmacked again. I cannot get over the amount of stunning heritage buildings in Launceston. When you consider it's Australia's third oldest city, it kind of makes sense. But with that comes a huge amount of colonial history, and it just blows me away daily. As a child, I never paid attention to architecture, but as a middle-aged man, I've developed this sick passion project, collecting clips of buildings around town with nice light. But I'll probably do that in the future sometime. Lord help the missus if we ever go to Europe one day. We'll not get anywhere. Just outside of Launceston, in the middle of the Tamar River, you'll find the dainty Tamar Island. In the early 1800s, convict labour was used to drain the wetlands, and since then it's been used for various things. It's a really nice ball to walk through tall grass with plenty of wildlife to look at. This place would be a wildlife photographer's wet dream. My favourite part is by far the plough. I'd hazard a guess that it was leaned against a tree by a farmer throwing down the tools many, many moons ago, and as the famous mathematician Ian Malcolm once said, life finds a way. We soon started cruising a little further out to the small town surrounding the city, starting with a stop in the most beautifully preserved town you've ever laid eyes on, called Evandale. Every Sunday they have a really nice market, and I got some awesome footage of all the trees in full autumn bloom, and then I accidentally deleted it all, because I'm an absolute idiot. All that's left now is this banger of me on a chariot. Again, stepping out of town, we visited a couple of estates, starting at Woolmers in Longford, which is quite an amazing piece of colonial history. Founded in 1817, it's one of Australia's most intact pioneer settlements and is recognised as a World Heritage Site. It's got rich convict history, along with its sister farm, Brickenden, which was owned by the same family just around the corner. We haven't yet visited that one, however I did attend a wedding there in my teens, which was pretty awesome, although I can't really remember much of it. After that we checked out Clarendon Estate in Nile, which is just as impressive but in different ways. It's run by the National Trust and is full of loads of convict history as well. They finished it to the early 19th century period and scrubs up pretty well inside and out. Both are well worth a visit for the record, even with a toddler if they like being outdoors. Especially with the autumn leaves around, if you can't tell, they love it. Now let's move on and I'll stop boring you all with this architecture, history and midlife crisis sort of stuff. As I'm a bit of a redhead deep down, the National Automobile Museum of Tasmania is conveniently directly over the road from Isla's favourite playground. So it eventually got the better of me and I dragged around one arvo. It's got all the Aussie muscle you need, as well as classic American, Euro, bikes and everything else you could think of. It's more than worth the effort if you're into that kind of thing. Time to move further away from home and see some sights. We then took a road trip up northwest for a night, passing through so many beautiful towns on the way. Going for strolls on random empty beaches, and stopping at way too many playgrounds to count. There's just something about the stunning, uninterrupted coastline whilst cruising through rolling hills for days that makes for such a relaxing drive. We got up to our final resting place in Stanley, which is a cute little town on the edge of the world, before watching an epic sunset over what I like to call Tasmania's mini Uluru, the Nut. During this time, we visited a couple of waterfalls. Lilydale Falls was the first, being such a short trip from home. Even if it was a little dry at the time, it was still a nice afternoon stroll. After a decent spout of rain, we went for a cruise out to Liffey Falls. I've been here a couple of times in the past when I first started photography, and this place never disappoints. It's well worth the drive out through the country for some fresh air and to hear the thunder and roar of these amazing set of waterfalls. I spotted some nice weather coming over and decided we weren't officially Tasmanians without taking Isla out for a first visit to Cradle Mountain. So I jumped in the car and headed off for the night. Watching how much Isla enjoyed being outside without melting made me realise we'd made the right choice in our move. Last time I was here with Hayley it snowed, which was an awesome experience, but she never actually got to see the mountain. So having the perfect weather 2 weeks into our move was the icing on the cake. It's days like these that make it all worth it. Since visiting with Hayley and Isla, I've already returned to do an overnighter and have previously been here numerous times in all seasons growing up, and it never ceases to amaze me. I got a lot of photos and videos, so I think I'm going to make a dedicated video just on Cradle in the future, so I'll keep this short for now. Crows love it. Anyway, my name's Stanley. I'm a landscape photographer who's been out of the game for quite some time. I just discharged from the army after 7.5 years, and me and my family just moved from Townsville down to Tasmania. So we're doing a fair bit of travel, and I've decided to pick up the camera again. Going to do some travel videos. Obviously, if you watched this video and the last one, just trying to find my feet is what I want to do, find my style. We've got a fair bit of travel coming up this year, so I'm trying to make videos that are, so obviously sometimes when we go somewhere, I'm not just sitting there vlogging like this and talking the whole time. I try to get a few good shots and then enjoy myself, because what I find is, getting that perfect shot and heaps of perfect shots really takes over, and I want to be the best father and husband I can be and be as present as I can be. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the middle ground is there, so I can enjoy myself, enjoy my travels, and enjoy my photography or videography, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've come up here, do a 3-day hike, and it's absolutely freezing. I'm in the Walls of Jerusalem National Park in Tasmania. A few days ago there was a big dump in the snow, so there's still a lot left. Last night was -4, and obviously the lake's frozen. This is the Pool of Bethesda. There's Solomon's throne and the temple, I think. Probably wrong, but I just had my map out before. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, I'm going to head over the Damascus Gate, I think that saddle is, and over to Dixon's Kingdom Campground and spend the night over there. This is I did a overnighter a few weeks ago around Cradle, and it really cooked my knees, surprising, and my hips. So today I'm a little bit stiff, but not too bad. It wasn't a big walk yesterday, so we'll see how I go tomorrow. This is kind of just finding my feet and seeing where I can and what I can't do. There's probably a limited time my body's going to hold up in the future, so without being a pessimist. So I just want to do a few of my bucket list items, which was the Walls of Jerusalem loop. So get a bit of footage out here. Absolutely beautiful. It's actually really warm here in the sun right now, and I've done a bit of walking. There's no breeze. I'm in a little bit of a valley here, and even though everything's frozen. So yeah, waffling on now, but yeah, we'll find my feet and see what I'm going to do with this channel, but probably be predominantly travel videos, just amalgamation over a couple of months. I'm not going to go do one every week or anything stupid like that, because like I said, I want to be present. So I'm going to try and like every month to maybe 3 months, do a big this is what we've done, and just do pretty much what I did today. It might change, it might not, but in the middle, if I can get out and do some hiking and film it and make something of it, something I'm happy with, and I'll chuck up extra videos like this as well. But yeah, anyway, that's me. Hope you like the video, and yeah, stay tuned. Oh, one more thing. In the future, in the next couple of months, me and my missus and my daughter, we're going over the States for 7 weeks. So going to do a bit of a road trip, Canada down, around. We've got a sister-in-law over there, so that should be pretty awesome. And I dare say I'm going to get a lot of travel vids out of that. Yeah. Anyway, Cheers.